Yo, so you know what? I had two video ideas in my head and I didn't even think about which one I want to talk about. I might just do both of them now. First what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like being nervous. I want to talk about being nervous for like a good change. That light is really light, so I might have to move like here a bit. But yeah, the idea of being nervous for a good change, I think it's like something really interesting, and it's something that happened to me about a week ago, and it's something I really want to talk about for a while. But then I became quite sick, and my head became quite fried for like a number of days, if not a week, before last Tuesday. And Tuesday is an important day to this whole story. So I couldn't explain this, so I'm gonna explain it now and kind of explain what I was feeling before this. But basically on Tuesday I had an appointment with neurology for my head, which will hopefully, it was on Tuesday, but I hope what I learned from that appointment can get me where I need to be. But I'll speak about that in the next video. That was the second video idea I wanted to talk about, but I hadn't chosen which one. But what I want to talk about is the idea of like being nervous for a good change. And what I mean by that is like I had this really interesting like worry or nervousness or whatever you want to call it, or like a bit of a dilemma coming up to this like neurology appointment. Like obviously, so for those of you that don't know, right, I've been suffering with like chronic migraines. Doctors are giving me medication, they're not working. I need something to get me out of it. So obviously I'm praying that the neurologist can give me a tablet that I can get out of it, which means I can go back to work, go back to my life, make money, because I kind of need money. I probably have like 2 months left in me before I'm like broke, like homeless. So I kind of need this to work in the next 2 months. I need to go back to work and make money so that I can like afford food, like rent and fucking water and shit like that. But the interesting thing is that about a week before my appointment, I started getting nervous over the idea of that happening. And the reason being is because since my time off, if you watch my last video, hashtag is like still on in the gaff, but it's like weird seeing it from outside. That's why, sorry, pause. That's why I realized lately, that's why some people might say I'm ADHD sometimes, even though I'm not. Well, I haven't been diagnosed, but I don't think I am. It's because mid convo I'll just point out over something else about something else that I noticed and talk about it. But yeah, so I had this interesting thing basically a week prior to the appointment where it's like obviously I want those good things, but I was really afraid that it might happen, which is interesting. But the reason being is because my whole time off work, I've developed really good habits in my life that I've never had before. Really good like eating habits, drinking water habits, like sleep habits. Like I'm kind of learning how to go to bed at a good time. That's a new one. I'm learning how to get up at a good time and like get up out of bed, and all these habits that have been built, but I'm not waking up for something, and I know the idea of waking up for something will just void all. The idea of like creating a habit when the habit doesn't need to be created is different to creating the habit when it has to be created. That gives you a greater purpose to create it, which is good. But I want to know that when I don't have work, I'm confident that I can go to bed at a good time and wake up at a good time. Whereas if I can only, because previously I could only make a habit if I had work the next morning. If there was something I had to wake up to, I could go to bed early, but I couldn't go to bed early if I didn't have anything to wake up to. So I'm getting really close to getting to that, going to bed at the right time when I have nothing to wake up to, and like getting good goals done and doing it. And like the idea that I've built up so much good habits, but the scare is like the second I go back to work, that could all just get completely taken away from me. All those habits could just completely go to shit because, you know, the times I eat at will have to be changed because I'm going to be working during those times, and my breaks are going to be at different times, and la-di-da-di-da. Ooh, the view looks good, doesn't it? See, that was another like potential ADHD moment. But that was the scare, was like everything I've worked on for the past, like since January, realistically the past 3 months, nearly 4 months or whatever, will just get taken away from me for a really good thing. And like obviously I want to get out of this shit. I need the money. I want to get back to my normal life, but I'm like, I don't want all my habits to go to shit. So I think it was fair for me to be a bit nervous to get back to my old life while also keeping my new life with me. I think that's fair. But I definitely wanted to hear good news, and we'll find out in the next video what I actually heard. But I'm gonna go before 5 minutes. See ya.